So, while I was away, S news dropped. I wonder what it means for the future of Star Wars: The Old Republic. Star Wars: The Old Republic is going third party, as BioWare focuses on Mass Effect and Dragon Age. The summary of this is that Star Wars: The Old Republic is moving away from EA and BioWare and going to a studio called Broadsword Online. That's the gist of the article, and they've confirmed that, and that's true. But I'm going, who are Broadsword Online, and what does this mean for SWtOR going forwards? So I found another article that summarizes the information. So EA confirmed that negotiations with the studio took place, and according to IGN, more than half of the 70 to 80 people working on Star Wars: The Old Republic are expected to move to Broadsword following the deal. Let's pray they don't alter it further. Other developers will be able to take on roles within BioWare and EA, but layoffs can't be ruled out either. I mean, that's one of the main things for me, is like they're gonna get most of the same team still on it, but what parts of the team are they? Not knowing much about Broadsword, but going okay, some of the same teams going over. I hope that includes ones that would write some more short stories, which I have really enjoyed reading. And the new story updates, what's going to happen with those? I've been thinking that I really do want them to wrap up the story and tie up the loose ends and be able to be preserved and played as is. It's linked with the founder, Rob Denton, so it's connected to Mythic Entertainment, who's done MMORPG stuff before. And then Mythic Entertainment was acquired by EA and renamed EA Mythic. So fun times. It's all sounds pretty in-house, doesn't it? It went on to develop an unsuccessful RPG for Warhammer Online. The best known one from that is Dark Age of Camelot. But then EA decided to close BioWare Mythic after it changed its name again in 2014, and then the co-founder Broadsword Online Games to further support Dark Age of Camelot, which is their more popular MMORPG that they're supporting at the moment. The two, when I've looked on Broadsword Online Games, that are the ones that they're keeping up with and helping are Ultima Online and Dark Age of Camelot. Dark Age of Camelot is mentioned, so the part that I found in Wikipedia, yes, the best source of information. But I wanted to get I don't know these games. A fan of these games would be much more knowledgeable about what they've done in the development cycle, what's happened, what changed after Broadsword Online got them, and that sort of stuff. But Dark Age of Camelot, Broadsword Games, or Broadsword Online Games now, actually have given that a non-subscription game account, so people can play it for free. Though that's also with some restrictions on how many characters the player can have, character classes, as well as some services within the game. That seems familiar. Okay, have they done any expansions? No, they've basically got that, they made it free to play and are keeping supporting the servers. Ultima Online started in 1997. It first launched and opened the first game servers. That's a long running game. And then the only thing they've really done with Ultima Online is make a free-to-play option. Again, with large restrictions as to what players can do and where they can go. Interesting how they've restricted even where they can go. I mean, you could argue that's the same for if you've got SWtOR without the expansions. You can't go to the expansion areas from the new story updates, but alright, what does this all mean for Star Wars: The Old Republic? I think that with some of the team going over, I hope they continue to do the story updates, at least to wrap up the story that's ongoing, because they keep going with, I think that something's ended for it, but then they're like, oh no, new content, gotta get it out. Which, I'll see when I get to the later stuff, if it feels like it could be easily resolved, because I would hope that we have an ending. The other thing is the silly UI designs and some other things. It's like, it seems like Broadsword Online will keep the restrictions on a free-to-play account, and that's the way they've done it, and introduced free-to-play models for their other games. Seems like they're still influenced by EA in that regard. But it does seem like if they're upkeeping a game from 1997, that they will keep the servers going for SWtOR, which will be good. And there's not going to be loss and then something has to happen to it, like Star Wars Galaxy has fan servers. I really want them to work on an offline version of the game, because I play SWtOR for the story. And if they just make some of the operations flashpoints, they can have the story playable solo and go through. It'll be good. It seems like SWtOR is going to be keeping going for a long time. We'll see what happens with Broadsword Online in the future. But them taking more than half of the team that's currently working on SWtOR Republic, I think is a good sign, because that means there won't be too many different things. Although there will probably be the same sort of approach they're currently having, where they've been revamping the UI, and some things are good, some things still don't work properly. You have to click it a couple of times for the overlay map, at least on my version of the game. It should be the same as everyone else's, because it's online. And this weird mesh where they've introduced a new UI, but then they've also got parts of it that are the old UI, charging for quick travel now, and the economy of that is all ballsed up. It's like, it seems like there's going to continue to be a subscription for SWtOR when it shifts over. I think you're going to keep the servers up to continue the subscription. They're taking the team, so they should continue to do the story, I would imagine. Unless they're taking most of the story writers over to Dragon Age and Mass Effect. Which also goes to show that where we got some short stories from some people writing these stories or being involved in the new story updates, it's probably even less likely to happen, if anything. Not that we got them too often, but I really love them when I do get them. Like the latest short story leading into Showdown on Ranuk, which is the latest story update, and that being a really cool Mando story leading into Shay Vizsla hunting down Hetakol. But I guess we'll have to wait and see exactly how it goes. It seems like they basically have done, let's maintain the game how it is and give it a free-to-play model, from what I can see from the other games. But of course, if someone knows more about that, then that'd be good to know, because I would hope that at least if it's before the transition, if no more story updates are going to happen, but because they're taking the team, I think they're going to keep going on story updates, or at least maintaining some things, but who knows. So the future of SWtOR, a little bit questionable, maybe. But some of that's been questionable with some of the changes they've been making anyway, in my opinion. Some things are better. A lot of things are changed unnecessarily from their anniversary updates that they seem to keep going on. But yeah, that's that. I don't really have much more to say, so let me know what you think down below of this. If anyone knows any more about Broadsword Online games, the way they've treated Dark Age of Camelot and Ultima Online actually in the game, that'd be good, because as far as I can see, they may only upkeep it and then give it a free-to-play option with restrictions, which SWtOR already has a free-to-play option with restrictions, so I would hope that something more happens with the team going over there and working on it. But if they want to focus on Mass Effect and Dragon Age, are they really going to take the writers over for SWtOR? Or are they going to have the writers go and do stuff for Dragon Age and Mass Effect? Anyway, let me know what you thought, and I will see you in the next video. Hey,